Just days after delivering her budget, it's what the Chancellor said before standing up in the Commons that's now prompted calls for her resignation. Rachel Reeves this morning rejected allegations she misled the public after it emerged that the Office for Budget Responsibility told ministers there was no fiscal black hole. The Chancellor said the OBR's projections fail to account for the cost of policies, such as the U-turn on winter fuel payments and the lifting of the two-child cap.
Anyone who thinks that there was no repair job to be done on the public finances, I just don't accept that. We needed to build more resilience, more headroom into our economy. That's what I did, along with that investment in the NHS and cutting bills for families.
At the end of September, briefings claimed the government needed £30 billion in tax rises based on the upcoming OBR forecast. But in early October, the OBR told the Treasury the shortfall was only £2.5 billion. And by the end of the month, they revised that figure, and it turned out the government actually had a surplus of £4.2 billion. Despite this, in November, Rachel Reeves held an emergency press conference suggesting she might break a manifesto pledge on tax rises as briefings about a £30 billion black hole continued. Less than 10 days later, reports emerged that the plans had been dropped, with senior Treasury sources claiming higher than expected tax revenues have reduced the supposed £30 billion black hole to £20 billion. The Conservatives say the Chancellor lied, painting an overly negative picture to justify tax rises.
She was raising taxes to pay for welfare. The only thing that was unfunded was the welfare payments which she has made, and she's doing it on the backs of a lot of people out there who are working very hard and getting poorer. And because of that, I believe she should resign.
The Chancellor will be hoping she's done enough to placate her critics. But this latest row will only intensify pressure on a government struggling to outline its vision to an increasingly impatient public.
Well, Jasmine is in Downing Street tonight. Jasmine, the Chancellor is insisting she's here to stay. How does her neighbour in number 10 feel about that?
So as you'd expect, number 10 is backing the Chancellor. Sources in Downing Street say they were aware of the OBR figures and argue that the Chancellor's November press conference, as well as her budget, reflect the need to stabilise public finances and tackle issues like child poverty. Number 10 also say any suggestion that the public has been misled is untrue. Now, all of this will be regarded by officials in government as an unhelpful distraction. They're really hoping that Rachel Reeves's remarks this morning have drawn a line under this issue, because they really want to put the focus back on the substance of the budget. And I think we can expect to see in the coming days the Prime Minister really trying to sell these measures to the public, explain what some of these higher taxes are paying for, because I think there's a real worry that amidst all of the briefing and infighting that the government's message has been lost, who they stand for, what they stand for, what they're trying to achieve. And the government's going to try to address that in the coming days.
Jasmine in Downing Street, thank you.